Good morning, Spruceland crafters. Today we are going to make another craft with a toilet paper roll. This one is a he's a great white shark, which is the Spruceland mascot. So he's super fun, hey? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. Mrs. Adams will have instructions for you, which are very nice and easy to follow. But I'll show you how to do it, because sometimes it's easier when someone shows you. So you take your blue paper that you're going to get in your craft kit and measure your toilet paper roll. And you could use a ruler if you have one, and if you don't, you just hold it along one edge, use it as a marker, and then let's see if we have that's long enough to go. That's long enough. And then we'll just connect our dots. I'll make it a little longer than I measured, so it overlaps. And we could use white glue or a glue stick glue. And I'm going to put it on the whole thing so it stays really stuck. There you go. There's his body. Yeah, easy peasy, right? And then we're going to keep the seam on the bottom. So make sure when you're working with him, you kind of flip it over so that's the bottom. So the first thing we need to do is cut these little V's in the side that become the edges of his mouth. So I just kind of eyeballed it. So I put a little dot, and then I'm going to go on the other side and do about the same. So my mouth's about the same. And then I'm going to draw a triangle. Boop, boop. And it doesn't have to be exact. So I'll go from where I drew down to my dot. Drew down to my dot. And then what I did was I took my triangle and I put it on the other side and I trace over it so I know that it's about the same size, because I like them to be even. And it's a little hard, so I'm going to just draw it. Because I don't know why I have to hold it on this side. So we're cutting out the sides of his mouth. Come on. There you go. Stands up. See how they're just kind of little triangles on either side? Now, I liked his lips to be red. So I took a red marker, and I'm going to just color along the edges. Red. Not because he's been eating anything and it's blood, but because we have red lips, right? And actually, if you've ever looked at pictures of great white sharks, I suggest you Google them afterwards. They actually have really big gums and lots of teeth. Lots of teeth. So yeah, so just color the edges all red. And it's okay if it's not even. You just see it a little bit from his teeth sticking out. So the next thing we're going to do is teeth. So how I figured out how to do my teeth was I took a piece of paper and I thought, okay, I want them to be about this big, so kind of bigger than the actual roll is. And then I thought, okay, I want them to stick out of his mouth, so I want it about there. So that's the kind of shape I did, like this. Then I did an inside one, and then I drew the jagged parts. So do. That doesn't look big enough, actually. I want it this way. I'm going to do it on the outside of what I did, because I'd rather have them too big and overlapping inside. And actually, sharks have several rows of teeth. So if you wanted to do a couple of rows inside, that would probably look pretty cool too. Now, I need two of these. I need one for the top and one for the bottom. but I'm lazy and I don't want to cut out two. So I'm going to fold my piece of paper in half, and then it's like I'm making two at a time. So we'll just cut, and this is great practice for using your scissors. And remember, the trick is to move your paper around, right? Cut, move, cut, move. Great way to make it jagged. And then when I glue it, I don't want to see these pencil marks, so I'm going to glue it upside down so you can't see all this pencil. And I wasn't exactly careful. You guys could be more careful when you draw your teeth so they're a little more even. And I'd love to see you experiment. Do some really big teeth, and then do maybe like a row of smaller teeth inside and see what those look like. Ta-da! So then once you cut the jagged teeth, then you just kind of cut out the center. So you end up with like a U with teeth on the bottom, like that. So they're going to kind of look like that. Now they might glue in one piece. Nah, probably not. So I'm going to cut mine in half. And then I'm going to put glue along the edge. And remember, there was pencil on one side that I don't want to see, so that's the side I'm going to glue down. So a bunch of glue, and then just stick them down. You kind of feed them inside a little bit, and then hold it down. Done. He's got a lot of teeth. And I guess if you had folded your paper over one more time, you would have cut out 3 sets of teeth, right? Do it twice, you'd have 4 sets of teeth, which might look kind of cool. This one's actually a little long, so I'm going to cut this because it's in the way.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Sometimes. I did a better job with the first set. Funny how that is sometimes.
I think it's just too big in general.
It's just a little big. Yeah, this one's popping back out. Well, glue stick glue, as you know, has to be held down. You have to be patient. And I'm not being patient. There. And it needs a little bit more glue. I think these would be fun to play with your fire-breathing dragons that are kind of similar shape and size. You could have some epic battles between sharks versus dragons. I would love to see that. Alrighty, so there's his teeth, and his gums, and his body. What do we need? We need some fins. So I'm going to take our blue paper. Now, great white sharks, the thing that makes them really noticeable when they're swimming is this big dorsal fin. So it's really just a big triangle that kind of has a curve at the back, like that. And so you want to have it, cut it a little bit bigger than what you want, because we're going to bend the bottom part down to glue it on. So there's your fin, and then I'm going to just take the bottom part and fold it, so I've got like this flap there, this part here, and then that's what I'm going to put the glue on. I saw some online where they had like cut them and put a slit and then fed it right down underneath. And again, okay, there's my seam, so I want that on the bottom, and there he is on the top. And I'm going to put it a little bit more towards his back, because that's where they are on the shark. They're quite long, and then there's their body. Okay, and then we're going to work on the tail. So the tail is like 2 triangles, and then I cut. So I'll show. I actually kept the piece of paper that I cut it out of. So I made like a triangle, and again, I want 2, so I'm going to just fold my paper in half because I'm lazy. And it's easier to make them the same if you just fold them in half. So I'm going to trace mine, but you can experiment again with different sizes of tails. You can make them really big, you can make them really small. So it was shaped like that, and then I just went down in the middle, because that's kind of what I didn't like that one. And this is why you do it in pencil. So that's the middle. So there we go. Now they should be closer to the center. So I'm going to cut that out. So see how I did a dot in the middle, and then I just curved it down to meet my dot. And then we cut that out, and then we have two tails, so I'm going to cut it in the middle. And I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on it because I find they don't stick very well, these glue sticks. So then again, you kind of feed it inside and squish it to the outside. So I kept my, this is, the dorsal fin is the top. There you go. And then do the other side. And then I liked mine joined together. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the middle part to join it together. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. Because I didn't like when you looked from the top and you can see that it's two. So what I did was put some glue on this and then just squeeze them together at the same time. Stay. But I put glue on the wrong side to start with, so now it keeps popping open. I'm going to let it just, the inside glue for a second, and then it'll stay, and I'll put the eyes on, and then when I come back, I'll be able to glue this. Okay, so there is his tail.